Welcome back to another NeuroGlancer tutorial, and I'm back with a proofreading update and protocol update. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to turn this merged ripped area into segments like these, and we're going to go step by step and make it super easy, and we're going to go through it together. And by the end, we're going to know the new protocol, and we're going to have a few tips and tricks in order to achieve the most amount of cell added to these types of difficult areas. So let's get right into it. I have a little collage here. And as you can see, we have the same segments we were just looking at. And the protocol is very simple, but once you jump into it, you'll see it might be a little bit more difficult. But I think once we go through this, it should be fully understood and clear and concise. So these red arrows in the bottom left are pointing to the point where if I was to trace these with the new protocol, I would cut these segments off here. And the remaining segment could be sent to BancBot as BancBot Proofread, or Backbone Proofread, excuse me. And in doing so, we can increase the number of Backbone Proofreads, which is always great. So 2 different styles of splitting can be implemented depending on your personal preference. I suggest the 3D style, as you can see in this upper middle frame. So for the 3D, you just place 1 or 2 points on either side of where you would like to split. And the idea, even though this is part of your cell, the idea is to eliminate vectors for connections with the merged area. So as you can see, this red arrow is pointing to where the merger is located. But if you try to split this from this, sometimes it doesn't work out. So this is a way to circumvent tripping up the splitting algorithm and give it a more simple split and just say, hey, I just want to split this piece from that piece, and it'll be able to do that more easily. The same can be done in the 2D. This segment here is that segment, and this piece is this longer piece. And this piece up here is this green outlined piece in the that is behind this. So either way works. Whichever works for you, I'll leave that up to you. As you can see, this is just a ripped area in the top right of the 2D image. And that is what's happening sort of beyond this merged area. So if we go too deep into the 3D, it gets really laggy. So this new protocol allows us to skip the lag and clip these before they get too hairy, add them to the good piece that we already have, and then submit it to BancBot. So in the last image, you can see the before, the area we're trying to obtain. After the split, you can see that there are a few different color segments here now. I did, I think, 3 splits. And then we have the salvaged area that we would like to add to the rest of our backbone. We have combined all said pieces, and now we have a legitimate backbone proofread candidate, which we can send to the BancBot. So pretty simple, but let's take a look at some examples just so that we can see it in action. So as I've shown you before, these cells have already been done, and you can see that they went pretty far into the merger. So that's above and beyond, bonus points to you if you want to go that far into it. The protocol will be just to cut it where it enters, and it can be deceiving where it enters, right? So let's clarify what that means. We're going to zoom in here. So this is our original example. And as you can see, it's entering the merger here, right? But really that pink piece from before, which is now merged, already kind of went in further. So you want to take it as far as you can go until it gets, untenable, right? So maybe around here, you would say, okay, that's far enough. I'm going to put a point here, point here, point here, point there. And we're just going to take everything from here up, right? So what I imagine happened and why that pink piece was separated to begin with was because the proofreader did that. And then they found that there was a merger here and a merger here, which you can still see the segment colors are overlaid on each other. And they went through the process again, and then I went through the process here and finished it off. So in theory, that would work, but what about in practice? Let's find a new piece. We're going to go through it. And with the loading, it could take some time, but we're going to reselect this merger and have it be the most up-to-date. And we're just going to take a segment out of here. So let's take this one. So in your case, you'll probably start with the segment that's over here and go this way. But since this is an example, I'm just going to start with the segment over here and go the opposite way. Same sort of deal. So I'm going as far in as I can tolerate the lag of. And this looks pretty good. It's getting a little hard to see. So here seems good enough. So I'll try the 3D method. Now we don't have any 2D right now. I wonder if it'll work out. There we go. Switch to blue annotations. They have been placed. I press enter to submit. The activated groups. We can see it's thinking about it down here in the bottom left. And we'll know it's a success if the segment in 3D blinks out of existence, which should happen anytime now. Hopefully. If not, there might be too many mergers in this area, and we'd have to go further up to cut off a good piece. So let's see, looking at our right here, I only see one visible segment. So we got a fake split, which is cool. That happens. So we're just going to scroll up. We're going to attempt the 2D style. We're getting an error. The selected supervoxel is of an unselected segment. Interesting. Let's just refresh. We're going to go back to the cut tool. We're going to clear it. That should work. So what just happened is a merger was removed within the segment that we were placing the points on, which is why it came back as a different color. But we didn't actually separate a segment from that merger. So this can happen sometimes. It's no big deal. The 2D segments were not placed. Let's try 3D again. Again, it is very lag intensive. So we got our points placed. We're going to hit enter again. Further up, hopefully this one will be less confusing for the cut tool. Feel free to watch this part at 2 times speed as we wait for the cut to happen. All right, the cut was made. We have 2 different distinct segments in the list now. We're getting the 2D before 3D, so we can do a quick investigate there. Let's get a zoom out. Perhaps we did not cut all the way. Yeah, it looks like we just got a sort of middle segment part. So this would be the equivalent of the pink segment from the first example. So we're going to scroll on down. And we're going to cut again. Scroll a little bit more till we reach something that looks like it could be a merger. Here looks a little bit tricky. So let's do another cut. We'll try the 2D style. All right. More progress. We are going to have to make a third cut. Scrolled pretty far. Here's another suspicious area. We'll attempt another cut here. So this one worked a little bit, but it's interesting that it kept this piece. So I assume this is a merger. So let's keep scrolling. Let's do a cut not so far away from there. Oh, I've never seen that before. The red. It's a red annotation with a blue. That must have been caused by the lag. I wonder what's going to happen. For science, we have to press on here. Yeah, I could not acquire root lock. Oh, but something's happening anyway. Okay, let's just clear this. We'll try again. Okay, we've changed colors. Interesting. All right, let's cut it from here. Looks like there's a small missing piece here. All right, we've struck gold. Okay. So if I had to guess, the rest of this segment is okay. I was not going to guess that it was still merged, but the good part about guesses is you can make more after you see the results. Let's switch to the 3D. I am a proponent of the 3D splitting. I think it is superior. There we go. All right, so this is that. Let's try a 3D split there. We'll just do a classic split. As you would normally. I think it worked. Yeah. Okay. Now we just have to shore up this area here, which I think we could do another classic split. Okay. We can get rid of that. And we can combine what we have found. After we make sure that it is not merged with some other stuff. Let's do a refresh, see if we can get the 3D back. Nay, we cannot. So let's just do some very particular annotation placing. But of the flood method. Oh, wow. The speed of that split was quite nice. Might as well clear this one up too. Excellent. And we progress with the merging. Okay. And now all that's left is just a normal tracing, which we all know and love. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope it all made sense and that it was clear and concise. And if you have any questions at all, please message myself or any of the other Princeton proofreaders, and we will get back to you with an answer with your question. Thank you for watching and for your patience, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care and good luck.